Hey Divas, it's Ingrid here. I thought I'd do a quick video. I see a lot of new faces coming in. We'll tag you tomorrow and do a proper welcome. But I just wanted to say welcome. And I hope you're having a really lush weekend. And I just wanted to send, I've just been shopping for food. I've got a play date for my daughter today. And I've just been hiking with a beautiful friend, really just connecting to the earth, to life, to beauty, to love. And I was speaking to my girls in my Diva mind yesterday, and I also wrote a post up publicly about riches really starting from spirit, and I wanted to just share a little bit about that. You can't really get riches externally unless it's a vibrational alignment. Hey charisma from within. Hey gorgeous, I hope you're having a great weekend. It's getting warm here finally in Australia. I'm so excited. And so I really want to invite you to feel into what would it feel like for you having, say, whatever it is, 20K consistent months. Hey, Alyssa, 50K, 100K consistent months. What does it feel like? And it always goes beyond money, right? It's really about how we want to live, how we want to show up in the world. Hey, gorgeous. Happy birthday, Alyssa. I think forgot to message you. Okay, let me just put this stuff in here. It's about our contribution, right? It's about what we want to give to our children, our grandchildren, our future children. It's around being in our power. It's around having more than enough for what you want when you want it, right? Isn't that what true abundance is? True abundance is really, for me, having what I want when I want it. So when I did a big talk recently to 500 people live, I also talked about having the choice to, decide to, I don't even really want to talk about this and go into immunizations and all that whole thing, but my daughter didn't do great with all of that, and the government took away this policy. It's called no jab, no pay, and I wanted to slow down all of that, her immunizations, and it was like, oh my God, it's going to cost me now $25,000 a year to put my child into daycare without any government subsidies. So things like that, I want to have choice. I want riches. And I'm speaking to my girls in my Diva mind. I had a pretty intense chat actually about a few different things. And if you want to make more money, you have to completely shift the way in which you relate to yourself, to money, and to life. And one of my really big shifts that has helped me so much receive more deeply is to see money as a divine healing tool. Money combined with love and service for all soul empaths who are here to serve and bring radical healing to the planet. Money is a potent tool, and it's the vibration, right, that comes with it. So hey Monique, so is the vibration, I was speaking to my girlfriend hiking, and she said to me, I see that money makes people like sort of like assholes and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, that's just one example, right? Money will always make you more of who you are. So if you're a generous soul here to serve and contribute, hey, is that Sanaya? If you're here to contribute and give, money will make you more of that. So I know that some of my friends, and I've got some really, very mystical, kind of girlfriends who live a completely, they're not driving around in the 6-figure Volvo like I do, or they're not wearing all the fancy clothes, and they don't necessarily want all of that in their lives, and they have their value system in their life. But anyway, they've given me feedback on how I am. Hey Vanessa, and they're like, Ingrid, you've become more generous. Like, it's like your ego has been dying and dying and dying as you've been dissolving all your poverty consciousness and all your fears and all your drama and all your pain. As you keep ascending, it's like you have more love to give, you have more generosity. And I can assure you, think about someone like Amma, the woman who travels around the world giving hugs. I can sure as shit tell you that woman isn't flying around in coach worried about how she's going to pay her bills. That woman sells probably millions of dollars worth, like tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of merchandise, just like Mother Teresa, who was backed by the church, who flew around in a private jet. Does that make them less of a saint? And Are you better than me if you have less money? Isn't it that, and right, am I somehow a bad person because I've decided that my work has value and that I want to have nourishment for my family and for myself, and that my work has a price tag on it, and actually it's like it's worth like 100-fold. My work is worth 100-fold at least to what I charge. Because if someone can come into my Diva mind and turn around and make $30,000 in 3 weeks with no ad spend, I sure as shit think that my course is worth a shitload more than what I charge, right? So we've got to become, and I was speaking to one of my clients and a whole lot of the girls there, and she's just jumped on too. When you're talking about money and you're going through whatever it is, you know, like your prices, your offers, if you're in Hey Beauty Lana, you've got to be really clear with it. You've got to clearly articulate it. I call it money diva IQ, right? Don't feel ashamed, and even if it's uncomfortable, we're not taught to have reverence and ownership around our prices, how we want people to pay us, when they should be paying us, because here's what I'll tell you will happen. If you don't have boundaries around how you expect to be treated, and you don't run your business like a boss diva with love and authority and clarity and transparency, it's actually not ethical, because you're not letting people know how it's going to go, right? It's up to you to set how you want to be treated. Otherwise, people will take advantage of it, not because they're meaning to or to be harmful. It's just to do with their own money stories and their own wounding. And I've learned this the hard way. That's why now I'm a boss diva when it comes to, this is the payment plan, this is how it goes, this is what I charge. And this is what I also expect of you if you're going to come and work with me, right? Because it works when you work it. Otherwise, it won't work. You have to apply it. You have to apply it. And for some people, it takes longer because of their emotional stuff. Yes, hey, gorgeous Holly, you're so divine. The more I've worked around my stories around money, I found that as well, that I didn't see all of that. Right. So I really think that money, for me, it's really... It is as I've dissolved so much story around and lineage, like the patriarchy wants us to have an issue with it, right? The patriarchy, like I'm not against men, I love men, I have an amazing partner, but women are controlled. There's so much violence against women and children, it's disgusting. And if we want to have power in our lives, we need to have financial power. And the only way that we're going to have financial power is to start dissolving this sense of shame around money, this immaturity around talking about money. And so I was talking yesterday a bit about the princess archetype. It's not the princess who feels that everyone should owe her something or anything like that. It's more like the little girl. So right up to the age, really, the princess archetype should kind of dissolve around the age of probably 20 or 21. For me, I had to learn this, right? No one really taught me this. It took a long time. I think I really wasn't in my authority or in my kind of queen energy, a more grown ass woman energy, until my 30s or even later. So what I'm talking about is like dissolving that young little girl kind of energy around how you may relate to money, speak about money, allow yourself to receive money. And it's like, okay, I'm going to have enough maturity to understand here that I need to become a grown-ass mature woman and own it and not buy into this shame conditioning any longer. You can make a sacred holy vow right in this very frigging moment to completely shapeshift and transcend this toxic, harmful, abusive relationship that we have around money, our femininity, our power, our survival. We deserve to rise up, and in order to do that, you're going to have to allow yourself and give yourself permission to start to dissolve any shame that you have around it, right? Money doesn't give you value. You are valuable. Money is not going to make you more valuable. You need to understand that money gives you choices. Money gives you freedom. Money gives you the ability to help and serve others. I love money because of the choices that it gives me, but it's not my driving force. Every time I get on video, I know that if I have an impact on someone's life, they may choose to work with me. But the energy and the intent around the content that I produce comes from my deep passion It sometimes comes from a bit of anger, sometimes some frustration around how I see so much deep suffering in the world, and I will not sit by, hey Brie, and hold back around that, right? So I'm just inviting you today to remember who you are, and to also know that you can have radical, complete, divine, and sacred holy healing in this very moment. Yes, no more little girl stories. Yeah, it's so, I've been there. I understand it. I had so many money stories and money shame. And one of the big shifts I made was when I was doing some work on myself, and I was with my kinesiologist at the time, and there was this pattern, you know, of doing really well. Hey Brie, making money. Hey gorgeous, making money. And then like kind of sabotaging myself and losing. Like always like a loss. Do really well, raise capital, have my own clothing line, lose things. Have a really good job, somehow fuck something up. You know, just constantly up and down yo-yo. And the real trauma there that I had to release was that I had a belief that money brings pain and suffering. So through my parents' divorce, there was death threats. My dad hired a hitman to kill my mum. My mum would always manipulate. My parents would always manipulate with money. When they started making money, you know, they would just leave my sister and I, right? They would like literally go overseas for months on end, and we'd be staying with people we didn't even know, right? And my sister and I were like these young kids looking at each other going, who are these people? Anyway, so let's just say that they became quite obsessed with money. And like they were immigrants, they didn't grow up with a lot of money. They both came to Australia with nothing and had to, you know, build from scratch, and they became quite successful very quickly. And my parents taught me a lot about resilience and a lot about hard work and a lot about really like if you want to make the money, if you want to do it, yeah, you are going to have to learn all these different things that you've never done before. It's a skill, it's a practice. But they also taught me that I don't want to be a workaholic. I don't want to be like that. I'm not going to leave my child. But the other thing was all this pattern around sort of using money to manipulate. So because I had this fear around that and control and manipulation, this warped idea that money would bring more pain, which I saw, right? I saw that happen. So you're going to have beliefs, guys, right now. Like ask yourself, what have you seen in your childhood or growing up that has twisted the way in which you think about money? Because really at the end of the day, it wasn't money's fault, right? It wasn't money. Money isn't innocent. It's the energy and the vibration of the human behind what they were doing with money, how they use money as a tool. So it's really the person, the energy. The money is always innocent. So when I saw that pattern, oh, money causes destruction, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to allow myself to keep building and making money. So I always could make money, but then holding on to it and building it. So a big shift that I had to do was release this power, this feeling and this belief that money would create pain, because of course then I would always sabotage myself because I didn't want that pain. So just even naming it, guys. So go away and think about this today. What is my mother's relationship with money been? And there might be some really positive things that you've learned from them. It's not all doom and gloom. There's the positive, and then there's sometimes the harmful, the negative. And look at it and go, okay, then rewrite it. Like I think I did, actually there's a document that you guys, some new people have been coming in, have been downloading, but if you want it, let me know and I'll send it to you maybe via Messenger. It's called the Diva, Potent Rich Diva Clearing, and it gives you examples of rewriting. But basically say there's never enough money. You can then say, I am always nourished. Whenever I spend money, there's always more money. I now allow myself to easily make money every single day, right? I worked out a little while ago that I hated money because I thought it had broken my parents up. It broke her parents up. It was a huge revelation. Yeah, so obviously it really wasn't money. It was really their way of relating to each other, probably some of their own wounds, immaturity, fear, anger, resentment that created the shutdown of that relationship and I can't even think of the right word, the dissolution. I think I was coming up with a new word of that relationship. Okay, yeah, I will. It's a document, it's a working document. I grew up and believed that you have to work your ass off for it and not be present with your kids no more. Absolutely. So you could decide, Kelly, I am now making 50,000 or whatever you want, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, whatever you can really like feels juicy and expansive to you at this moment. You can always say plus more. You always have the ability to up the ante on your threshold of how much money you will allow in. That you can go to an amount that feels like a stretch but doesn't feel unbelievable for you, and then you can always raise it because you don't want to kind of go into fight, flight, or not believe it. So whatever amount that is, maybe name it below, put like 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand consistently every month. I now allow myself to make 30K or whatever it is, 50K consistently every single month working part-time. I now have the most incredible, nourishing, loved up, free, playful relationships with my children and my partner and my friends. I am deeply, deeply nourished. I have an abundance of energy. I have an abundance of time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And really feel into, well, what would that feel like? What would that look like for you, right? Because the truth is, the more money I make in my business, yes, there's times and periods where I'm really busy, there's changes and things happening, but you know, I have a team of about, I think it's like 17 or 18 people now. So I do work pretty much every day. On the weekend, I try to take time off. I'm here doing a video, picking out some food before a play date because I want to, because I enjoy it, because I like expressing myself, and because I want to have heart connections with people, whether they buy from me or not. I get pleasure out of doing what I'm doing because it impresses also in my subconscious mind a deeper awareness and understanding around everything that I believe, and it's good for me as well, right? I want to share, I want to connect, so I don't feel drained by doing this work, by getting on video. But I have more time. So there's periods of time where I might need to work a bit more diligently, but I have more time. Yay, Alyssa. I don't do a whole lot of private work anymore. I'm a little bit busier. I've been selling a few packages with just 2 hours with me, like 2-hour intensives. So I don't have back-to-back clients. I have my Diva mind, and that's where people get me. 50K per month to be deeply nourished and free to be there for my family and to serve. Absolutely, that's beautiful. The one thing to sometimes realize is you may have a fight-flight response deep down subconsciously going on behind a new affirmation or a new vision that you want for yourself. So just ask to see what the pattern might be, or a belief, and keep working on those so that your body or your soul, kind of an energy or belief system, doesn't fight against what you're desiring. So that's the real work, isn't it? When you're looking at, okay, you know, what is something that might be blocking that from coming forward? Any other little beliefs there? One thing that I do is I ask the creator of all that is to help dissolve anything with ease, love, and grace, anything that I'm unconscious to, or to at least help me become aware of it. And then when I'm aware of it, I can do the additional work I might need to do to release anything that is in resistance to me receiving my next level. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go off and do this play date. Got to go and take my family some food. Have the most sacred, holy rest of your weekend. And if you do want to go to a new reality, Diva, yes. If you do want to go to a new reality, just keep feeling into that future reality and stop focusing on anything really deeply painful in the past. If you need to feel it, process it, get support to release it, and then focus on the future reality of that which you want to receive. How will it feel? How will it feel? And it will take you into a new energetic frequency. If you keep thinking about the past of what didn't work or what was wrong or bad or how you stuffed up or how someone betrayed you, it's going to keep you in the lower vibrations, and you're going to keep recreating that. You don't want that. Hey, gorgeous Tiaho. So in order to stop that pattern, really keep asking yourself every day, what do I want? What do I want? And how does it feel? One little short affirmation that I did when I really wanted to start making so much more money and I was just so done with myself was, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich. I am whole, I am aligned, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich. And now I receive with ease, love, and grace. Just, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich. Not, I don't have enough, I need to make more money. No, you don't need anything. You're conjuring and receiving and feeling into riches, the riches that is within you. When you come face to face and begin to see how perfect and divine and holy you are then rich. and then you will receive the external reality of that belief. Most women are in a state of lack. I'm not enough. I need to be more. I have to work harder. That vibration will just keep you trapped in working hard, and you're just basically saying, I'm not yet enough to receive. Thank you, Brie. I can't wait to work with you, right? So if you want a full, like, you don't allow money to come in and then feel good or feel more abundant. You have to actually, it's a bit of a flip of the switch. You want to feel abundant and rich now. It doesn't matter if you can barely afford to pay for a latte. You want to see how much God, Creator, the divine, gave you, which is you, and that you are more than enough to have what you desire. Sure, there might be a new skill set that you need to learn around marketing and positioning and funnels, and that's just strategy. The big issue that I see is that so many women have such a poisonous relationship with themselves due to that trauma and the pain and of its racism and violence and abuse. And they then, instead of actually feeling the fuck out of it and like processing it deeply and saying no, that is not okay, they tend to take it on and internalize it and make it a problem about them. Therefore, buying into the illusion that they're broken and wounded and they're fucked up and something is wrong with them. Can you hear what I'm saying? Right. Thank you. I'll just suffer that confirmation. So no matter what's been done, no matter what you've done in your life and the mistakes that you've probably made, because we've all made heaps of them, where you've allowed yourself to even be abused because of the conditioning, you have to come to some sort of sense of resolution and forgiveness of your own self and say, I now allow myself to start fresh. I now allow myself to, in this very moment, you can start fresh. And then you break the chain and the cords and the energy field. So it's very different to say, to say I am abused. Like if you're relating to abuse, I'm abused is like I'm abused. So it's like you're constantly affirming that rather than, okay, I was abused, I have been, and these are the things that I've learned from that. And now I'm a survivor and a vixen, I'm not a victim. So you relate to yourself as I am a vixen, not I am a victim. So you can use your story as fuel by shifting your perception of it and no longer relating to yourself as I'm abused. I have got some African American and people from different ethnicities, Mexican clients and things like that, who have had a lot of racism. And so, and been attacked and things like that. But if you keep saying, I am attacked, or that kind of feeling, that vibration, you will always either attack yourself or receive external attack, because that's the vibration that you're buying into. Okay, vixen, we're all vixens now. And we're not damsels in distress, we're going to be divas. Okay, guys, have a beautiful, beautiful day. I'm sending you so much love. Bye.